It's time now for the Peter Channel Morning News on this Tuesday morning, December 6th, 2016. Got, got good morning to you all this lovely Tuesday morning, December 6th, 2016. Here, it's 8:30 a.m. and it's 28 degrees here, not near. Today's high will be 43. Here now, the morning news at 8:30 a.m. And our top story is in Brussels, where negotiations over the UK's exit from the European Union will be wrapped up in an 18-month period, the UK said. The many who have lived many are the party that the local grass, known as a ghost strip, the building with a temple, a labor for makeshift studios and apartments that feel the clock creativity in the city where the artist felt squeezed. In a single phone conversation, Taiwan's President Tsai Ing-wen and December 2nd, President Donald Trump programmed decades of diplomat protocol. In this pick of his re-election campaign in 2012, President Obama has reported 6 paragraphs in the State of the Union address to plan his reversal of factory jobs in foreign countries. As in Germany, the Eurozone must not allow itself to decide to request it again and must head off the risk of adhering to the fiscal rules enshrined by the European Union Stability and Growth Pact, German Chancellor Angela Merkel said on Tuesday. President Francis Hollande put the soft-spoken Bernard Cazeneuve to foresee the French government for the final months of the term as attention was defend the socialist captors in the next year's election. A court in Saudi Arabia on Tuesday sentenced 15 people to death and several others to prison terms in a case of involvement in an alleged Iranian spy cell, sign of continuing tension between two Middle East powers. The Twitter account of Bana Al-Abed, a 70-year-old girl, has in the past few months shared her experience of living in the siege war-torn city of Aleppo, has been targeted by trolls who have claimed she had been fabricated story. Does America have a high school math problem? U.S. teens still are performing mid-pack relative to their peers around the world and the Senate International Times, according to a new report. San Antonio, a Bexar County Sheriff deputy was killed after a car was swallowed by a single incident in the night. Dora Linda Suez Nishara, who has been in agency for 70 years, was killed on Sunday, the Sheriff's Department said in a statement. Judge Clifford B. Newman of South Carolina declared a mistrial on Monday after the jury took out on the word of where former police officer Michael T. Slade committed murder in a April 2015 shooting death of the Black murder's Walter Scott. Another fatal accident happened on a notoriously deadly highway. This time killed two state trooper head-on crash on a dangerous, deadly South Jersey highway. The Pentagon has buried an internal study that exposed $125 billion in administrative waste in its business operation amid fears Congress would use the finding in an excuse to slash the defense budget. We had a Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia's criminal court sentenced 13 people convicted of spying for Iran to death. Tokyo's U.S. Secretary of Defense Ashton Carter said that the United States will return some London Okinawa military base to Japan. Sirte, Libya. Libyan forces report that they taken back to the coastal city of Sirte from the Islamic State and in a month-long battle against the militant group. St. Louis, 3 teenage males were arrested on suspicion they robbed the wife of Missouri Governor-elect Eric Whitten's at gunpoint on Monday night in the parking lot. Washington. Vice President Joe Biden teased a possible remnant of the White House in 2020 after the U.S. Senate overwhelmingly passed the 21st Century Cures Act. Atterbury, with millions of dollars worth of new shops sitting vacant in the new plaza and tenants waiting to move in. A developer asked the planning board Monday to allow some of them to do before mandated traffic signals installed. Representatives of the Capitol properties told planners that traffic to beyond the controls preventing the installation of signal intersection Route 1 and Angeline Street, which will allow southbound traffic on Route 1 disabled across a 54,000 square foot plaza known as Shoppers at Mayfair at the Route 1 and Main Street. The company is open up the planners allowed about half of the plaza to be occupied so as early as next month of February. Champion agreed to a condition last week requiring the company to install signal before occupancy permits could be issued to stores. A number of delays, including conflicting Master Department transportation plans, Route 1 had to be worked out first. Civilian signal, they said. The first business north that cities that considered itself an accident in Albert Monday morning, but no serious injuries or problems were reported. Saugus, Massachusetts, a member of Massachusetts Town School Committee charged with assault of a man with frozen fish patties have been ordered to attend anger management classes. Today, Flynn reports that 16-year-old Alfred Grabowski was charged with assault and battery and a dangerous weapon by allegedly hidden 73-year-old Martin Green with a bag of frozen fish patties. The young man veterans food to have at the senior center in May. Both men said the other man was the aggressor. OPEC passes rather the highest level in the year following an OPEC's agreement last week to curb production, but analysts foresee a number of hurdles that could keep the market volatile. Also, the Danish family began a legal policy breaking in power, shaking the company's ownership structure, evaluating and is executive widely credited by the regulatory maker from the brink of bankruptcy to manage all things legal and explore new. Berlin, Germany's top court ruled Tuesday that the government must compensate utilities companies for its phrase outlaw, open the door for damage claims worth billions of euros. Thread, American elementary school, nuclears. Agreement that the equivalent sanction in the country's president said. Also, Norway. Norwegian energy company Statoil said that the fight against climate change demands a large fight on our oil and gas companies conduct business. Washington, U.S. gasoline prices are rising alongside oil prices that rally at the back of the OPEC production deal fight retail analysts like question and duration. Melbourne, a Cuban force coastal oil company, said was taking a close look at business comment there will be the goal of accelerating its drilling program next year. Houston, FMC Technology Detective, two companies working to assist oil and gas exploration became the latest in the industry to agree with a merger. Looking at the stops now, up 45.82 points to 19,216.24. SP5 up 12.76 points to 2,204.71, and Nasdaq up 53.24 points to 5,308.89. A very visible fog hangs in the mountains. Near and a cowl, a pointing laboratory, illuminated by a laser, no part of the fire, the parrot outfitted with a pair of tiny red tinted goggles to protect his eyes. The regulations and associated sectors that have an impact on the human evolution say scientists want need surgery to deliver baby due to its neuropelvis size, according to study. Over the decades, NASA has designed a bunch of space stuff that has wide terrestrial applications like mulberry foam, blankets, and solar cells. That's the takeaway study published by the BMC Medical Journal, which found that much of the health of nuts on a daily basis contain risk of wide range of disease and cancer heart disease. There's bad news for people who think it's safe to smoke a few cigarettes today, even a week. Their faces such high risk of death compared to what people who don't smoke, according to a study published on Monday. France raised it high that the risk of the level across the country has the detection of several cases of highly pathogenic H5N8 avian flu strain, with some parts of France, farms in the walnuts in the north of France, and the farm ministry said on Tuesday. Take a look at New England Insular reported. Buck, Massachusetts, 1 hour ago. More back to the rollover. Buck, Massachusetts, Howard Street, the Claremont Ave. Reported Phantom rollover. Garbage appeared to be out, and minutes continued. And now look at your sports at 8:37 here. Last night, the Boston Bruins beat the Florida Panthers overtime 4-3, while the Boston Celtics fall to the Houston Rockets 107-106 in Houston. Celtics and the Bruins have been out off. Oakland, the three-pointer from Klay Thompson seemed to kiss a quick one to turn around, jumping the fundamentals bench to the basketball's poor shot selection. East Brooklyn, New Jersey was ugly and embarrassing and mostly downright pitiful. New York Jets were finally outplayed out of class by Ed Norton and Alex Cole hidden. Rock bottom of the season, the men smiling as the Colts embarrassed the Jets 41-10. Ron Rivera bench Cam Newton sort of sent this game because Rain and League MVP didn't wear tight at the stadium. Sunday, former of the Saints against the last war. Harder watch. Fan the black and gold, cluster, uninspired, pedestrian, and apathetic, all edges that come to mind. Peter Chell News Hive is now 8:38 on this. To the morning, and it's time out for Traffic and Transit Report. Baby! Let's say 15 where realized person body lanes between Brentwood and JFK UMass to a disabled train. Commuter rail. Freeman Worcester train 510 730 from Worcester operated 550 minutes back between Ashland and South Station. Franklin train 708 708 from Forge Park operated 35 40 minutes past due to a signal issue. And on the Thursday at Lincoln and Bus will replace Green Line D's third between Northern Islands and Mershaw from 9 and 3 p.m. on December 6 and 8 and 12 and 15. Okay, take a look at Highways and Moways of New England. None of them stop outside. Back to Ferris all the way to Greenwich, Bear Parkway, West outside, back to Bridgeport all the way to the Seford. 95 at the North outside, back to Seford stretch. 95 at the North outside, back to West to New Haven. 91 at the South outside, a little sweat, New Haven stretch. 84 West outside, back to the Newtown, Connecticut. 84 East outside, back to the Waterbury stretch. 84 East outside, back to the street, New Britain, and North Connecticut. 91 at the North outside, it is back up from Middletown all the way to Morning Hackett, 91 is south outside, expected for 2 day one. Interstate 84, Harvard, Connecticut. 91 in the northbound side, expected 57, 2 day one in Springfield. 190 south outside, expected around 2 day west, 2 day eastbound side, it is expected around 485 for the Barber. 290 eastbound side, it is expected from Auburn all the way to Route down to Worcester. 146 to the northbound side, it is expected around 2 day Worcester. 485 on the southbound side, it is expected 111 out and acted all the way out to 2 day Barber, and then 485 to the northbound side, expected from Milford all the way to the Mass Pike out in Westburg. Down the right now, 146 to the southbound, the northbound side, back to the North Smithfield stretch. 9, northbound side, it is about 126 to Route 122 in Lincoln, Woonsocket. 295 to the northbound side, it is backed up just around Route 95 in Attleboro. 295 southbound side, it's back to Route 6 just all the way after Route 12 in Crescent. 295 to the northbound side, to 37 to Route 12 in Crescent. 95 the northbound side, it's backed up from TF Green Airport Connector all the way to Route 195 in Providence. 195 westbound side, back to Seacon down to Providence. 95 southbound side, back to all to downtown Providence. 146 on southbound side, back to 1595. 24 on the northbound side, it's back to from Berkeley Highway, Route 104 in Bridgewater, and then all the way back to the 128 in Canton. 95 in the northbound side of Little one. 152 out in North Anna Marin, and then hit the base again from South Main Street, Shutter, Route 120 in Canton. Route 3 to the northbound side, it's back up from 13 hanging on and the Main Street split. Out into the Cape, 28 is southbound side of Board Bridge, just a little salt. Route 6 and both ends is back between Eastman and 4 lanes. Route 3 on the northbound side is a little salt just around Plymouth Plantation Highway. 120 both ends backed up around 138 they kept it all the way to the Braintree split. 120 northbound side it is backed up around Route 20 in Waltham all the way after the Braintree split. 7 Expressway, both ends is backed up from Mass Pike all the way to the Braintree split. 93 both ends is back to the downtown Boston. Mass Pike in the eastbound side, back to Route 9 and Fairhaven all the way after the Austin Mountain Tolls. Mass Pike on westbound side, also Newton Quarter. 93 both ends is back to downtown Boston. Mass Pike on westbound side from Logan Airport, Boston to the South Boston. 93 is southbound side. It is backed up from 230 to 290. It is Anchorage to Boston. 93 is northbound side. Little at 16 to Bedford. 128 on the southbound side is backed up from 95 in Peabody all the way after Waltham. 128 on the northbound side is from 95 in Peabody. 114. The 2 westbound side, Little Lexington, Route 2 eastbound side from 60 in Belmont all the way after Fresh Pond Parkway in Cambridge. 485 on the northbound side is Stabico from Route 2 in Concord, Route 2 and acted all the way after Chelmsford. 485 is southbound side of Lowell, Route 3 Lowell. 485 on the southbound side, it is backed up from 97 to Naperville all the way after Route 93 and over and Route 3 is southbound side, back to Route 40 Chelsea out of Milwaukee, and then again from Bedford all the way Route 128 Canton. 95 looking good for 128 Canton, 128 out in Peabody all the way after the New Hampshire border. 485 southbound side of Lowell, Route 95 in Amesbury. Every turn back to the southbound side, back to 293 in Manchester all the way at the Merrimack, New Hampshire. 93 southbound side is backed up from 293 Manchester all the way to Durham, New Hampshire. Smaller turn back to the southbound side is backed up from Dover, New Hampshire all the way at Route 4 out in Durham, New Hampshire. 295 is southbound side. It is Little Sorrel, Falmouth all the way down to North Portland, Maine. Here, but how is the Byway? Vermont, New Hampshire, made out. Looking good. New York State 3, eastbound side is backed up after 890. Schenectady, Interstate 87 to southbound side, back to 146 to Clifton all the way after Route 7 and Tri. Peter Jalaluza is 8:43 on this Tuesday morning, and it's time now for a weather report for today. It could skies about 43 degrees, not a favorable wind, given the north 5 miles an hour for tonight. At Chesapeake, it's between 8 p.m. and 5 a.m. Then a chance of drizzle and storm after 5 a.m. Clouds got low at 32 degrees. Light northeast wind, Chesapeake is 40%. Little notes can be expected. Wednesday, a chance of drizzle storm before 7 a.m. Then a chance of drizzle between 7 a.m. and 1 p.m. Most skies got about 45 degrees and level wind. Chesapeake is 20%. One night, most skies about 32 degrees and light west wind. For Thursday, most skies got about 44 degrees and come becoming west wind 5 miles an hour. After Thursday night, park skies about 27 degrees. Friday, mostly sunny, most skies about 37, about 28 degrees. Saturday, sunny, most skies about 30, about 18 degrees. For Sunday, part sky about 36 degrees. Saturday night, a chance of snow showers, most skies low about 27 degrees and Chesapeake is 40%. Monday, Chesapeake and snow showers, mostly skies about 43 degrees and Chesapeake is 40%. Kelly and Dalton here, it's 26 and clear skies and the humidity 92%. Here in Dalton here, it's clear skies and we got a temperature of 29 degrees with humidity 99%. And out at Mansfield, it's 28 degrees. And that's going to be it for the Peter Channel morning news on this Tuesday morning, 7/6/2016. I appreciate you. But good morning, good afternoon. I hope you have a good morning. I'll see you noon time for 12 noon report. I hope you have a good morning.